Good morning. Well, it's not really morning, it's almost noon here, but it feels like morning to me. I'm having a slow start. It's Monday. I work today at 4 o'clock, still waiting tables. And today I want to talk to you about dealing with difficult people, because God damn it if the world ain't full of them, it feels like. Specifically, I'm thinking about an incident that happened at this job of mine where one of the cooks started yelling at me, and it ended with me in tears in the back of the restaurant talking to the manager, feeling like I wanted to just walk away because I'm a grown-ass woman and you don't get to talk to me like that. And what are we doing? Why can't we treat each other with respect? These kind of things. And the deal with this guy is that he's drinking at work. And so as someone in recovery, I kind of have a head start on having like compassion for him, I guess. I used to drink at work. I used to be the asshole that was starting fights with people and really difficult to get along with. And I understand that it's not a great place to be. It's not a great way to live your life. So we had this fight. He apologized to me later. And then later after that, he asked me how I got sober. And so that sort of softened me up a little bit more to know that he's a little stressed out about it too and looking for solutions. But, that's all fine and good, but it still sucks to be yelled at, and it still is hard to deal with certain people. There's this other guy that I work with that every shift we work together, he just has like some little nitpicky thing to say to me about what I'm doing. Never anything really positive, just some little bitchy thing. He's like this older guy that's been there for 4 or 5 years, and he loves to let me know that he's been there so long. And I'm just thinking, I'm not really proud of this, but I'm just like, that's not that much to be proud of. Like, I don't want to be fucking stuck here. So it's hard for me to stay in this positive attitude. I don't want to get into this judgmental space where I'm like, you're a waiter and you're going to be that way forever, and I'm just here temporarily because I'm creating this amazing life. Like, I have to look at these attitudes within myself. I do think, though, that putting certain things in context can help us relate to people better. So, maybe this guy isn't glad that he's been there that long, or doesn't want to have been, or maybe he's lonely, or maybe he's hurting, or maybe he's just doesn't like the way I do things and wants to tell me about it every time. That's fine. This is just giving me an opportunity to practice the things that I've been studying and learning for myself. And that's what we really want to do, right? Like, it's one thing to read about this shit in a book. It's one thing to sit on a cushion and meditate our way thinking these kind of principles, like everyone who bothers us is our teacher. Rumi has this quote that I love that says, if you are irritated by every rub, how will your mirror be polished? And I try to think, I had this up at my last job, and I just try to think about that with people. I'm really a prickly person myself. Like, it doesn't take much for someone to kind of get under my skin. I get brushed up against a lot, I feel like. And this is one of my goals in life is I want to be untouchable. Like, I want to have this kind of inner calm that can't be rattled by people outside of me, because the world is full of people. I cannot control them. And the things I want to do in this world, like travel and have fun and be around exciting people and do new things and create art and stuff like that, like, I'm going to be in contact with people, and it's really important for me to learn how to get along and to not get so riled up by everyone that crosses my path. And so, going back to like teachings and readings and how to apply them, people always tell us, like, let the person who's bothering you be your greatest teacher. Like, they are reflecting something back to us. There is that saying that, if you see it, you've got it kind of thing. If you spot it, you got it. So if I hate something in you, it means like I have it in myself, or I'm afraid of having it in myself. I think that can be true to some extent, but I also think it could just be like your intolerance of that in another person is something that they're reflecting to you to start working on. I don't think that you need to subject yourself to people that are being shitheads. Like, I absolutely had a right to stand up to myself, to this guy who was yelling at me, spiritually sick, struggling alcoholic or no. He doesn't get to yell at me like that at work. And I did talk to a manager about it. And I would walk away if things got that bad. We don't have to be doormats. We don't have to be subjected to shitty behavior. We don't have to stay in like a fucked up relationship because they're reflecting something back to us and we're learning about ourselves. I'm just saying that, for the minor things, when we're just in the day-to-day and there's those people that just kind of rub us the wrong way, maybe before we walk away, or instead of, we can take a moment to pause and say, is this something that I need to take personally? Can I look at this in a different way? What might this person be going through or experiencing to help me have a little bit of compassion for them and kind of push it off? One of my favorite books is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And one of the agreements is not to take anything personally. And it's very true. Like, how people respond to us, no matter what we do to them or what they perceive that we've done to them. Like this cook, when he was screaming at me, he thought he had valid reason. He said, I had messed up 3 times. And I asked him what the mistakes were, and he couldn't tell me, but he was just convinced that it was my fault. I had made mistakes. And, it doesn't matter what he thinks I did. He is still reacting to me based on his own perception of the world, everything that's been in his history and his life up until that point. That's his choice. There's plenty of people that could respond to me, and I could have done the exact same thing, and they would have either laughed or not registered it at all, or pulled me aside and talked to me in a calm way and said, hey, you made this mistake. Here's how to fix it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we did. It's important to understand that people are responding to us based on their perceptions of the world and their ways of dealing with reality. Now, of course, this doesn't absolve us of responsibility, and we want to be in the world in the best way that we know how. I'm just saying that when someone's coming at you in a way that you're like, what the fuck? I didn't do anything to deserve this. Just remember, you're right. You probably didn't. This isn't about you. This is more about them. So we can still take ownership of how we show up in the world and what we're doing to people and in the world. But ultimately, at the end of the day, how they respond to us and what they choose to do with that is on them. And it's based on the life that they've lived so far. So I don't know if any of this is making sense. I just wanted to keep putting stuff out there for you guys. This is a journey, and we're going on it together. I didn't quit my job. I'm finding new ways to deal with it. But I know that wherever I go, there's going to be people that I'm going to have to butt heads with or not, that aren't going to be my favorite, that are going to challenge me in ways that can be tough to manage. So just want to let you know that's how I am coping with that today. And it is, it's all just a big, great learning experience is how I'm trying to see it. So I hope you're having a great start to your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.